You know, I think it hasn't really set in for me yet that this season for the Vancouver Canucks in 2024-2025 could realistically be better than what we had seen last year. The Vancouver Canucks had a stellar 2023-2024, multiple award nominations, multiple top-tier point scorers, and a Pacific winning record for the club. Now, you can say that it's not guaranteed that the Vancouver Canucks win the Pacific in 24-25. I think the Oilers are going to be a pretty big match for that. I think the Canucks at the very least are going to be top 3, and I think there's maybe like an 80% chance they're top 2, but when it comes to the players, when it comes to the points, I know I'm the guy who's been making videos about players and talking about Quinn and JT and Brock and all these other guys as to whether or not they could produce points next year, but I feel like when it comes to some of the newer names on the team, I personally haven't fully internalized just how good everything could be. And to help us out with that, I wanted to go over to an article published by Jeff Patterson earlier yesterday that goes over newcomer Jake DeBrusk and how he believes that a career high for goals is a possibility in his first year with the Vancouver Canucks. Now, before we dive into the article and the quotes made by Jake DeBrusk, because JPat did a pretty good job interviewing the guy at the Jake Milford golf tournament, this indeed is the status update. Jake DeBrusk, in his most recent NHL season, scored himself a pretty respectable 40 points in 80 games played. Sure, he did have a better season the year prior, getting 50 points in 64 games played and 27 goals to bat, but when you think about the Boston Bruins, you think about the guys that are used in significant roles, guys that were given better opportunities than others. Jake DeBrusk wasn't really like the most utilized player in the top 6 of Boston. There was a period in the postseason where he did actually get significant time. He had 11 points in 13 games after all in the playoffs, but Jake DeBrusk is a guy coming over to Vancouver with very legitimate 30-goal upside in his game. And as highlighted by Cam Robinson earlier this week, that number has the potential of getting even higher. This is Cam's tweet out for the Jake DeBrusk Fantasy Report. Career year alert. Whether it's beside Elias Pettersson or with Miller and Besser, DeBrusk has a chance to post career best marks across the board. His 2024-2025 projected point metrics from Elite Prospects have him at 81 games, 34 goals, and 34 assists for 68 total points, which would be a career high in all of those categories. Now, with this in mind, let's go out there and read the article published by JPat. I'll leave a link in the description to this Canucks Army piece. On Monday, at the team's Jake Milford golf tournament, Jake DeBrusk wasn't willing to reveal just how high he had set his sights for the first month with his new team, but over the course of the season, the Edmonton native feels confident he can push his career high of 27 goals, which he had first accomplished in 2018-19, and then matched in 2022-2023. There are always goals, and you try to do better than the previous year, DeBrusk explained after scoring 19 times in 80 games in Boston last season. I kind of want to get back to that 25 to 30 goal range. I think I could possibly get more if things go really well. At the same time, it's a new experience for me. I've been brought in to score goals, so I'm going to try to do the job the best I can. I usually do my goals on a month-to-month basis, so I guess I'll let you know after month 1. JPat then notes that in Jake DeBrusk's time, he has had multiple 35-ish goal production paces. He just didn't reach that mark because of games played limitations. So establishing a career best in his first season in Vancouver seems possible, given the role that DeBrusk is expected to play. He's penciled in on the left wing with Elias Pettersson at 5-on-5, and there's an expectation that he will be slotted in on the team's top unit on the power play. Sounds like a treat, he quipped when it was suggested that there's an open spot with Petey, Hughes, Miller, and Brock on the Canucks' first unit. I think any player would say yes to that. When it comes to the power play or the bumper or whatever position, I'll do whatever I can if I get the opportunity to do the most I can with that. It's exciting. Lots of skilled players. I haven't done a deep dive on the numbers like you guys obviously, but looking from the outside in, it's a very dangerous unit that I think any player would be lucky enough to play with. Wherever I get slotted in, one thing I've been taught in Boston is how to be versatile. I can play different positions, so whatever helps us. And that, I think, is going to be really great to see, because when you think about the guys that succeeded with this unit, Boeser, Petey, Hughes, Miller, the fifth guy was always kind of in the middle. It was Andrei Kuzmenko in front with the tip-ins and the rebounds. It was Bo Horvat in the bumper for the one-timer at the hash marks. Vancouver Hockey has rotated around with a fifth guy to accompany Petey, Hughes, Miller, and Boeser. And for Jake DeBrusk, the fact that his contract was signed to 7 years long, he's gonna be a Canuck for a really long time here. And when you consider that his contract actually has a lot of surplus value for Vancouver, this was one of the higher rated contracts on the Athletics projected model, you start thinking, hey, this is a guy whom, if he's able to work himself out into that role and establish maybe a 30-35 goal season playing as the power play bumper, then I think a lot of Canucks fans can be excited not just for this upcoming season, but for the next 5 years or so of Canucks hockey, as long as Brock Boeser sticks around. Of course, his contract is expiring in a little bit. JT and Petey are locked in for a while. Quinn Hughes is more of a medium-length contract at this point. But Jake DeBrusk, he's probably going to have an opportunity to slot himself in that spot, and if he's able to succeed with a bigger opportunity than he was given in Boston this past season, then there's no reason to go out there and doubt what DeBrusk can do. Let's go back over onto the article here. It's been a couple of months since he inked his new contract, and while he had the summer to prepare, the reality of coming to a new hockey home hit him squarely as he packed his bags and moved to the West Coast. For sure, it was different putting on the blue equipment in the summer, but it's a little bit different when you're in the city, and I've skated a couple of times with the guys, just getting to meet them, and it definitely feels real. It's like your first day at school again, and I'm just trying to get straight A's. Let's finish off this article by talking about what DeBrusk says he can add to the Vancouver Canucks. He should add speed, and he will likely be utilized as a penalty killer as well. I feel pretty prepared, he had said confidently. I know what I can do. I'm confident in myself, and I think I can do it in different ways than just production. But that's what everyone likes to look at. They, the Canucks, showed they really wanted me here, and that's something I take very seriously. I just want to pay that back and do the best that I can. I really like where the team is going, DeBrusk said. Obviously, they made some big steps last year, and I just thought I'd be able to fit in pretty well. It excited me looking at the roster with the makeup for the next couple of years. To join a group like that, I couldn't say no. And having DeBrusk alongside of Elias Pettersson, no matter who is the other winger, whether it's Sprong or Höglander or whomever, what a big upgrade over Ilya Mikheyev and Sam Lafferty. I'm sorry, Mikheyev, but your cheeks. The guy was so bad, and ultimately this will be the best set of wingers Elias Pettersson has had in over a calendar year. It's not even close. Andrei Kuzmenko in 2022-2023, excuse me, he was really good in that season, but Elias Pettersson has not had that great of a winger since then, pretty much. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Jake DeBrusk and this interview, how it's giving us more to be hyped about, how for me personally this was kind of a wake-up call. Did the Vancouver Canucks just sign a 30-goal scorer to play alongside of Elias Pettersson and hopefully get Petey back up to 100 points? What if he gets 100 and Miller gets 100 too? Who knows where the Vancouver Canucks will go with their point production in 24-25, but we are all going to be here strapped in for the ride, baby. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.